Secret recaps here today. I'm going to show 2021 Turkish drama film called Paper Lives. Spoilers ahead, watch out. And take care. In the streets of Istanbul, a young man named Mam it is roaming the streets collecting trash. After making his usual rounds, he goes back to their solid waste warehouse, where his friend Gonzi catches him as he collapses to the ground. Kansi, seeing that his friend's medicine has run out, calls their uncle Takin. It takes a minute to the hospital. As Mam it is examined by a doctor, he is told that he needs a kidney transplant. They don't have enough money for the surgery, so Mam and goes on leave together with their uncle Passion. They return. Manitou is run down apartment where he takes his medicine and sleeps with a photo in his arms. When morning breaks, then it returns to the warehouse where a group of young boys is waiting for men. It takes care of the records. As a word guns, he reminds him that he shouldn't be postponing his surgery. Minute brushes him off and tells him not to worry too much, and then the usual day of trash collecting begins. As Minute begins to close for the day, he hears a noise coming from one of the trash bags. As he pushes it, a young boy emerges and scuttles away many corners the terrified boy and convinces him to come out. The boy introduces himself as Ali. Man it takes a man and gives him some food. He tells me that he is looking to earn some money so that his mother can come and live with them later. That night many calls goes into his apartment. They talk about what they should do with Ali. Goes and suggests they take him to the police or his home, but many disagrees. He won't return only until he knows why the boy was left in the trash bag. He won't know what happened to happen at this point. The next morning, Minute takes a lead to a public bathhouse together with his friends. Minute notices the bruises on all these back, and you feel sorry for the boy. He tries to make him feel better by taking him to a hamburger shop with a little bit of help from those, and he convinces the group to throw a birthday party for Ali. As Minute looks for a birthday cake, he leads the league with Kansi. A few minutes later, a crying only comes into the shop saying that some lady tried to take him guns. He comes back having left the boy for a few minutes, and then it reprimands him with a punch to the face saying that he shouldn't have left all alone. That night the group throws a birthday party for a led by the dogs. Minute lets all leave blow out the candles of the cake and asked the group to make a wish. When men ask the group about their wishes, another boy tells him that he wishes to die the wilder. Minute asks why would he want to die. The boy says he'd like to die young because he's afraid that if he dies when he is older, his mother won't recognize him when they meet in the afterlife. As Mehmet Ali hang out on the rooftop of their apartment building, they talk about their lives. Minute promises and that he will take him to the beach, said, and he will teach you how to swim. With all the happy, they go back to their quarters. As morning breaks, Manoj finds the bedroom empty. He starts to feel the panic rising up in his chest. As he goes looking for a lead in the building with a boy nowhere to be found, he rushes out into the streets screaming Ali's name, asking passers-by if they see a little boy around. As he goes back to his apartment to call for help, he spots Ali sitting in the living room, collapsing with relief. Then it asks Ali where he's been the whole morning. Ali told him that he had a dream about his mother and he went outside to look for her, and when he couldn't find her, he went back to Minute's place. Many thinks it's important for all these mother to know that her son is alive and well, so he devises a plan to make Ali's showing where he lives and he can go talk to Ali's mother. Ali agrees to the deal. That afternoon the pair go swimming at the beach. Many teachers Ali how to swim is gone. She looked on happily, only then thanks man it later that night as he talks about the best. Minute stays up in the warehouse trying to build a trash collector for only when his Uncle Tension intervenes. Uncle Tension asks about Oli and says that his parents must miss him. Minute insists that all these parents don't want him and that he'll take care of the boys Uncle Passion did for them, as he leaves Uncle Tash and shakes his head disapprovingly and reminds members that he is sick the next morning. Minute surprises Lee with his own trash collector and takes him to work. They enjoy a full day's work of collecting trash, and then they retire back to Minute's apartment. Minnie tries to work back at the warehouse, but soon goes back to the apartment only to finally laying down on the streets. He sniffs some glue from the neighborhood kids because he thought it would help them see as mother. Right then it takes him back to the apartment and tells him to never do it again. As Ollie regains consciousness, he mistakes Member for his stepfather while still in his dazed state, as mantras to calm him down all these struggles, and kicks him away. Ali soon finds a picture in ministry. All the asking and why, he has a photo of him and his mom has drawn. Minute explains to him that he is mistaken and that it's Minute in the photo, and not only. Still in his confused state, Ali becomes angry and rips apart the photo. Minute cries out in protest and flips over the coffee table, crawling his way back to the photo that now lays torn on the floor. As Minnie tries to take back the photo together does, he comes by guns. He finally convinces him to take the boy to his parents, at least so that they see that he is alive and well. Minnie agrees and promises to take the board tomorrow. The next morning, King on his promise man, it takes a leader collect trash, but this time they go to a different neighborhood. Minute helps sell the Try to Remember where he used to live. They end up in an upscale part of the neighborhood. In a Lee stops to point at a building saying that's where he lives with his parents. Just as soon as they discovered all these home, his stepfather walks out of the building and Minute tries to chase him down to talk to him. He loses the stepfather in the streets and goes back to all the only to find and beat up and hiding in the trash bag filled up with rage. Minute confronts a group of trash collectors nearby. The other men say they don't know what ma'am it is talking about. In the conversation soon turns into a fight. He manages to land several punches on the man, but they soon outnumber him. They lock them in a chokehold. In the two other guys start beating him up. They kick him down to the ground, his mouth coughing up blood, and only stops when the cops started coming. Beaten and bruised man, it looks up to see a terrified, only watching in horror as the other man left him for dead. He tries to call out to him, but he soon passes out. When it wakes up, he finds himself in the hospital with Gozen by his side and a nurse telling him that they almost lost him. Minute asks for Ali, but goes and tells him that he lost the boy. The rage builds up in Minute's chest as he ripped himself off from the dialysis machine. Goes and forces him down, saying he needs to stay there, but Minnie can only cry out in pain. He manages to convince Gozen to take him out of the hospital and back to the warehouse. Minute rummages through the storage looking for the hidden stash of cash that he saved up for surgery. Uncle Tension arrives and reminds him that he needs that money for surgery. It's never gives it away. Now they don't know how they are going to get that amount of money again. Then it threatens them with a knife, saying he's taking this money to save Ali. He confronts Uncle Tension, blaming him for his miserable life. He grabs his uncle and yells at his face, asking him why didn't he take him back to this mother. He tells them that he made a promise to all the and that he's not going to break it. Manitek's Uncle Tension's carton drives all the way to the building where all these parents live. He knocks on the door and sees an elderly couple living in the room. He demands to know where all the is, but the confused couple can only stand in shock. He gives them the money, but they only forced him out. Desperate metaphors as himself in threatening them with his knife. As he searches for Ali, the couple tells Minute that Minute's family used to live here before, but they are gone now. As Minute enters his old room, his memories come rushing back as he remembers his childhood and how his stepfather used to beat him up, prompting his mother to abandon him and Uncle Tension's trash bag. Having enough pain and confusion. Minute screams out. He makes his way out of the couple's apartment and back into the streets. The rain has started to pour down as medical lapses near a pile of trash, holding in his hand the only picture he has of him and his mother. As life begins to slip away from them, it goes and reveals that everything that has been happening was inside Minute's mind. Everyone played along, feeling sorry for their sick friend who's been having a hard time remembering reality. Minute often slips into his own imagination to make his childhood self happy. And it holds out the picture in front of him with his last remaining energy, his tears mixing with the rain on his face as he finally accepts his fate. All he wanted was to reunite his abandoned childhood with his mother. But that can never be. He will only be a street kid. He slips away from consciousness and never wakes up again. The police find his body later on, holding the picture of a hopeful kid and his mother. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.